Hey guys, Yuki here outside the dogs. Just doing a quick video for today. It's actually going to be a little bit of a throwback to an old video, because little does anybody know, me and my family, were on the Maury show. So this is just a little throwback to that. So here it is. Have fun. And no, it's not about baby daddies. It's not about who's the dad. It's about families with multiples. Enjoy.
Now we know that having children can be very costly, especially if they're born in multiples. Now Lois and Dennis had quadruplets 5 years ago. When the children were only 7 months old, their insurance had already paid over $1 million in medical bills. Now, Dennis, you're Mr. Mom, right?
Yes.
You stay with the children.
Yes.
What's a typical day like? Tell me what it's like.
Oh, getting the kids up and fixing them breakfast and keeping them happy all day long. Laundry, probably.
Wait a second. Let's back up, Dennis. How do you keep these kids happy all day long?
Oh, it used to be Barney all the time.
Now?
Same tape all the time. They'd watch it all the time.
Right.
Now they're more than other things, and they don't like Barney. They don't like it as well as they used to. So it's harder to. Let's go to the park, Daddy. Let's go to McDonald's, Daddy. Let's go. All the time.
Right. Do you have a van or something?
Large van, yes.
Okay. Now, Lois, how did you react when you were going to have quads?
Well, I can't really say what I said on TV, I don't think.
Really?
It was a shocker. I'd never dreamed I would ever have a multiple birth, because there's none on either side of our families back as far as we've ever been able to discover. So, at first we went for an ultrasound and they saw 3 babies. And we thought, boy, triplets is really going to be a handful, but it might be kind of fun. 2 weeks later we went back and they discovered a 4th baby hidden behind the other 3, and it's like, it put a whole new perspective on it. It was like, this is going to be a handful.
Now, you want to introduce these 4 here?
Sure.
What's your name?
Kelly.
Hi, okay, and your name?
Travis.
Right?
Ashley.
Ashley, right?
Coy.
Coy, okay. Now,
And
this is
birth
not...
order.
And that's in the order, right. And now, this is the difference with your family. These are not your only children, aren't you?
No.
In fact, why don't we meet them all? Please come out. Are there any more? Is that it? Are there any more? There more? Oh my Lord. So that's it, right? That's all there are, right? No, there's one more, another one? Oh my golly. How's that? Just 9. So as Paul Harvey would say, let's hear the rest of the story. First of all, this is the oldest, right?
Correct.
All right. And your name is?
Denny.
Denny. And how old are you, Denny?
11.
11. Now, Denny came about, this is really strange, Lois, because you and your husband were having a hard time conceiving.
Correct. I had 2 miscarriages, and we weren't sure what was going to happen or if anything good would ever happen, so we adopted Denny.
So Denny was adopted.
Yes.
And then as soon as Denny was adopted, what happened?
Well, then Paula came along.
That happens sometimes.
I guess.
And so Paula came along. And then what happened?
And then Amy came along.
Now, how old are you, Paula?
11.
11. He's 11. You're 11. And then Amy, how old are you?
8.
8. And how old are you, dear?
6.
6. And then the quads came?
Mm-hmm.
And then that wasn't enough?
door.
Mikey just kind of snuck in.
Unbelievable. We talked at the top of this segment about by the time the quads were 7 months old, that you had there were $1 million in medical bills. Why was that?
Well, neonatal intensive care, first of all, is extremely expensive. They were racking up, what, over $1,000 a day per child in intensive care, because they were born 10 weeks early. The girls didn't have as many problems as the boys. Corey was on oxygen for a full year, and so he had an eye surgery, which corrected his vision other than the glasses, and Travis had a hernia surgery. You know, they were minor things that could have gone wrong, I'm sure, even with a single birth, but being multiples and being premature, they just were expensive.
Unbelievable. I mean, can you imagine what this household has to be like? We have some video of the Rosses at home. What's it like to live with 9 kids? To say that life is like a party for the Ross family is not too far off. There's always a birthday.
Oh, pretty. I like that. Yes.
Plenty of Easter eggs to paint. Lots of baths. More birthdays. Lots of playing. Pretty soon they'll be driving.
Cut your teeth, Amy.
More birthdays, of course, and shoes, clothes, lots of sharing. Even if it's chicken pox. But hey, life is like a day at the beach for the Rosses. So we have to go back to Mr. Mom here, because before we were talking about taking care of 4, now you're taking care of 9.
Yeah, it's
Or does
difficult.
Denny take care of himself?
Denny and Paul are my big helpers. Trouble
Right.
is, in the summertime, why it's fun, but in their school year, they go back to school, then I think it's hard again.
Who got the chicken pox first?
Tell them, Denny. Who brought him home from school, huh? Denny had it within, I think, a week. Everybody had it at the same time.
Now, what's it like with, I mean, colds, for instance? How does that, by the time the first one gets it, then they all...
Everybody gets it.
And then the first one probably gets it again, right?
That's right. When they had chicken pox, they went through them so fast, and we had a double sink. I had 2 kids in the sinks with oatmeal baths, and the bathtubs full with 4 kids in each bathtub, and just sitting there soaking all day long. And then Paula, somehow she was playing in poison ivy the same time she had chicken pox.
Oh, my
So
Lord,
she was even worse.
Paula.
Double dose.
Who's the nicest of them all? I thought I'd get that kind of an answer. I figured that. When we come back, my next guests are so identical that when they were babies, they wore name tags on their wrists so everybody could tell them apart. At one point, their name tags were removed by mistake, and to this day, these twins question whether they are who they think they are. We will meet them when we come back after this.